At the heart of Paris, beneath the calculated elegance of flashing cameras and the rigid choreography of haute couture, a moment unfolded that defied every expectation. It wasn't the garments that stunned the audience at the Dior Women's Spring-Summer 2026 show. It was the unanticipated, emotionally charged act of two global icons, Jin and Jimin of BTS. In a setting where silence is often the loudest statement, Jin's visible shock and Jimin's audacious move became the epicenter of a media storm. What exactly happened between these two members of BTS that left even seasoned fashion critics speechless and armies worldwide in a frenzy of speculation? The incident occurred at the Jardin des Tuileries, a venue known for its historical gravitas and fashion prestige. As the show commenced, the audience was prepared for a parade of silhouettes and fabrics. What they did not anticipate was a disruption, not of chaos, but of meaning. Jimin, freshly discharged from military service and returning to the public eye with renewed intensity, stepped onto the Dior stage not merely as a guest, but as a statement. His attire was provocative in its simplicity, a black oversized Dior blazer worn without a shirt, paired with leather trousers and adorned with layered jewelry. It was a look that spoke of vulnerability and defiance, a visual contradiction that demanded attention. But it wasn't just the outfit, it was the way he carried it. The confidence, the gaze, the deliberate pace. And then, the moment that shifted the entire atmosphere, Jimin turned toward Jin, seated in the front row, and extended a hand. Not metaphorically, but literally. Jin, who had maintained a composed demeanor throughout the show, was visibly taken aback. His eyes widened, his posture stiffened, and for a brief second, the cameras captured an expression that was neither scripted nor rehearsed. It was raw. It was real. The gesture from Jimin was not part of the show's choreography. It was spontaneous, intimate, and layered with implications. Was it a signal? A message? A challenge? The audience, including high-profile designers, celebrities, and media representatives, watched in stunned silence as Jin slowly rose from his seat and joined Jimin on the runway. The two stood side by side, not as performers, but as equals, brothers in arms, artists beyond the confines of genre. This unscripted moment sent shockwaves through social media. Within minutes, clips of Jin's reaction and Jimin's gesture flooded platforms, igniting debates and theories. Armies dissected every frame, every angle, searching for clues. Why did Jin look so surprised? Was he unaware of Jimin's plan? Or was the shock rooted in something deeper, perhaps a realization, a memory, or an emotional reckoning? Theories ranged from a symbolic reunion to a coded announcement of future BTS activities. Some speculated that the gesture was a tribute to their shared history, a nod to the years of silence and separation due to military service and individual projects. Others believed it was a declaration of unity, a reminder that BTS, despite its members' solo endeavors, remains a collective force. The emotional weight of the moment was not lost on those present. Fashion insiders described the atmosphere as electrified, with many admitting that the Jimin interaction overshadowed the entire collection. Journalists scrambled to rewrite their coverage, shifting focus from the garments to the gesture. Photographers redirected their lenses, capturing not just the clothes, but the expressions, the subtle tremble in Jin's hand, the unwavering gaze of Jimin, the silent acknowledgement between them. It was a masterclass in nonverbal communication, a performance without music, a statement without words. But what does this mean for BTS? The group has been on a hiatus from collective performances, with members pursuing individual paths. Jin's military service, followed by Jimin's, created a temporal gap in their public interactions. Their reunion at Paris Fashion Week was expected to be symbolic, perhaps even ceremonial. Yet, what transpired went beyond symbolism. It was disruptive, intentional, and emotionally charged. The fashion show became a stage for something far more profound, a redefinition of presence, a recalibration of identity. Observers noted that Jin's reaction was not merely surprise, it bordered on emotional overwhelm. His eyes, often shielded behind a calm exterior, betrayed a storm of feelings. Was it pride? Was it grief? Was it the weight of years spent apart, now collapsing into a single gesture? Jimin, on the other hand, exuded a calm intensity. His choice to break protocol, to reach out in a moment designed for isolation, was both brave and calculated. It challenged the norms of fashion shows, where guests remain passive observers. It blurred the lines between audience and performer, between fashion and narrative. The implications of this moment are manifold. For ARMYs, it reignites hope. Hope for a BTS reunion, for new music, for shared stages. For the fashion industry, it marks a shift in how celebrity presence is perceived. JIMIN did not attend the show, they transformed it. Their interaction became the focal point, eclipsing even the most avant-garde designs. It was a reminder that fashion is not just about clothes, it's about context, emotion, and disruption. And the days following the event, discussions intensified. Analysts examined the timing, the body language, the historical context. Why now? Why Paris? Why DIOR? The answers remain elusive, but the questions persist. Was this a prelude to a larger announcement? A teaser for a collaborative project? Or simply a moment of truth between two individuals who have shared stages, struggles, and silence? Jin's expression, captured in high definition by countless cameras, continues to circulate. It is studied, interpreted, and debated. Some see sadness, others see pride. Some see confusion, others see clarity. But all agree on one thing: it was genuine. In an industry often criticized for its artificiality, this moment stood out as painfully authentic. It reminded audiences that behind the glamour, behind the fame, are individuals navigating complex emotions and relationships. Jimin's decision to step onto the runway, to reach out, to defy expectations, was not without risk. It could have been misinterpreted, dismissed, or criticized, but instead it resonated. It connected. It became a moment of collective reflection, not just for ARMYs, but for anyone who has ever witnessed the power of vulnerability in public spaces. As the dust settles and the fashion world returns to its rhythm, the JIMIN moment remains suspended in time. It is archived, analyzed, and remembered. It challenges future events to match its emotional intensity. It sets a precedent for authenticity in spaces designed for performance. And most importantly, it reaffirms the enduring bond between Jin and Jimin, a bond that transcends music, fashion, and protocol. Whether this moment signals a new chapter for BTS or stands alone as a singular act of defiance, its impact is undeniable. It has reignited conversations, rekindled emotions,